Were you heard as a kid? Or were you told children should be seen and not heard? The impact of that is such a huge impact for kids of being treated like you don't matter, like what's going on for you doesn't matter. I'm just quickly plugging in the light so that my face isn't so dark. Oh, it's not working. Oh well. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, welcome. I'm just putting on a light on me so I don't look so dark. So, were you as a kid told things like kids should be seen and not heard? I'm the parent, I'll make the decisions. Because when we taught that as a kid, we don't learn to trust ourselves. Now, I had a little bit of an incident this week with my son where I didn't listen to him. And when I was a child, I hated being spoken at and being told how to be without any regard to myself. And I used to just get so angry that people treated me like it didn't matter what was going on in my life, that I was just kind of a pawn in somebody else's life and my opinion didn't matter. So I totally vowed that I wasn't going to do that to my own kids. And this week my son had prom and we had a lovely day going off and choosing different outfits, and we found a suit, and then we found my favorite color is purple, and the guy in the shop luckily loved purple too, so he was going, why don't you try this? Purple looks lovely with black. He had this nice black shirt on and a black tie. And then my son said, let me try pink too. And I said pink would look good. And then he tried them on. And I said, do you want me to just randomly do a vote on Facebook? And he said yes. And everybody chose purple. Or most people did, like 80%. His girlfriend chose purple. I chose purple. So many people chose purple. But then he came home and I'd had a rough day. I'd been doing my accounts. I was exhausted. I was overwhelmed. And he said, I'm going with pink. And I was like, why would you do that? Like, everybody likes the purple one. And he was just so angry with me. Like, why would you do that? Why would you treat me like my opinion of my own life doesn't matter? And I was like, I didn't say that. He said, you did. That's exactly what you did. You just said your opinion matters, that I should wear purple because it's favorite color. But I've decided to wear pink. And you've just made me feel like I don't matter. And my opinion doesn't matter. And it was such a small, subtle thing. And yet it burst out of him, this sense that just me saying, well, you know, I like purple, as so many other people do. Why would you choose pink then? Now, they both look fab. They're, you know. And then I had a migraine, so I was not kind of with it as like I normally am as a parent. So I said, okay, I need to have a do-over. And he said, I'm too angry I don't trust you now. You've done it. And I said, all right, let me apologize to you. And I went through this apology, which is really helpful. It's from Sue Johnson in the book, Hold Me Tight. And it goes, I care about you. This is what I did. This is how it made you feel. I was wrong. I'm disappointed in myself, and this is what I'm going to do to put it right. So I went through that apology. I'll go through it again. This is what I did. I invalidated you, bulldozed you with my opinion. This is how it made you feel, like you don't matter, like your opinion doesn't matter, like you're invisible, and it felt violating. I was wrong to do this. It wasn't okay. I'm sorry. And this is what I'm going to do to put it right. Not I'm sorry. I was wrong. Wait, what have we got? I care about you. This is what I did. This is how it made you feel. It made you feel violated, hurt, upset. I was wrong. This is what I'm going to do to put it right. And then we cleared up, and he also empathized with me having a migraine, that it's harder to think when you've got a migraine. And we resolved it. And he felt heard, he felt loved, he felt cherished, he felt cared for, and he had just such an amazing prom. But that's not the experience of all of us. You know, many of us don't grow up where our opinion matters. So I don't know about you, but I definitely grew up in a family where if I shared something, like if I said, hey, how you're treating me is hurting me, and I cried, then they'd go, oh, do you want something properly to, do you want something to cry about? Rather than meeting what I genuinely felt. So if that's you, let's have a look at the impact, because so often when that happens, we think that there are stuff wrong with us, like we're struggling with how we see ourselves, and we struggle to make decisions, and we think that we're useless or pathetic or not good enough. Well, I want to look at this together so that you understand that this is the impact of how you were treating. It's not because you're bad or wrong or anything going on. It's because of what happened. So let's see. In terms of your relationship to yourself, the impact of being treated like you don't have an opinion is that you have a low self-esteem. Like what you think doesn't matter, so what's the point of it all? Like you're just invisible to yourself and to other people. So you might not even notice what you think or what you feel. And I dated a guy like that. I just sent out an email saying I dated a guy like this who, anytime it came to making a decision, he'd be like, well, that's your problem. Even if it was a joint decision about finances or about anything, just because he didn't know how to make decisions, because he didn't trust himself, because he hadn't been helped to make small decisions. So for me, I let my kids make decisions about their hair, about their clothes, about what they're going to eat, because those are small decisions that teach them how to make decisions that empower them to make the bigger decisions in their lives. So the first thing it does, the impact, is make you feel awful about yourself. Then in relationship, either you're very needy like this guy I dated, where he wanted me to make the decisions for him, and it just was laborious because I had to carry the mental labor for both of us. And then we're not met in ourselves. In terms of just habitually getting on with our lives, we struggle to achieve what we're wanting in our lives because we can't make decisions about where we're going, what we want to do, what we want to study, all of those things. So hands up if you relate to that. You can press a like or you can comment in the comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know your opinion on what your opinion is. And if we've had that, then what can we do now to shift that? Just start making small decisions in yourself, like what lights me up to eat, what lights me up to wear, instead of thinking of what other people want. How could I wear my hair that enlivens me and makes me filled with sparks of joy rather than what other people are comfortable with, so that it feels good for you? And I want to hear your opinion. For so many of us, I have run workshops and I've run a big group and I run Restoring Love, the page. And a lot of people have been reaching out saying, I want you to do a low-cost community, not a program. We've got a therapist, or just want to be in a community with other self-healers, other people who are exploring these things together. And I want your opinion on it. So I've made a little form for you to fill it in so that I can hear your opinion. And it's just Restoring Love, restoring.love/S. And you can share your opinion in that survey on what it is that matters to you about what you want, because your opinion matters. And I want to grow a community on Facebook that is about healing these sort of things, looking at, so that we're not alone in ourselves going, oh, God, I am experiencing this and there must be something bad and wrong about me. Instead, being in community, we get to see, oh my God, you're experiencing this too. It must be because of how I was treated. It's not because I'm bad and wrong. So share with me your opinion on what you're wanting in this community. And then I'll have a look at what everybody's wanting and see what we can create together. But I want you to begin now to be taking charge of yourself and going, I matter, my voice matters, and you can do little things in your life to start to work on your voice, like speaking up about something that matters to you. Like when you see something, standing up and going, hey, this is not okay. Or when somebody asks you, does this look good? To be able to say, well, I love that color, but maybe in this style. So that you are beginning to choose your opinion and what matters to you. So you rewire yourself to know who you are and what you think matters in the world. And that you weren't taught that skill of treating yourself like you matter and your opinion matters. You can change that now. It doesn't always need to be that you ignore your own opinion. So I want you to begin to notice your relationship to yourself. And one of the things that I did that really helped me was doing the KonMari, A Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. In doing that and choosing, like, do I like this thing? Like, does this thing spark joy? Then suddenly I would get this sense of, yes, like, yay. Or I would get an aversion. It would just be like, no. And that began to teach me what my opinion was of things, where before it had just been sort of numbed out because I would get into trouble if I didn't agree with other people around me. And so, it really tuned in. Like, I wanted to go off to study and go to America. And my mum said, oh no, only when you've got your degree can you do that. And so there were like major life decisions that really mattered to me. Another one where my opinion didn't matter was when my daughter was born. And my mum said she was going to come over to the UK. She lives in South Africa. And I said, no, thanks. I don't want anybody around for the first month and a half. I just want to like really get to know this little baby. A few days after she was born, my mother arrived. I was like, but I said I don't want anybody here. I just want to be on my own. I want to be with my baby, nobody else. So there were so many times it was like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to tell you what you're talking about. And so I want you to learn to be able to get that voice in yourself to know you matter, you're important, your opinion matters, and what you feel matters. Not like you can just walk around and give your opinion to other people and say, my opinion about you is this is how you should be. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about your opinion in your own life, you making decisions for yourself, you making decisions for what lights you up and makes you feel good about you. And the more that you can do that for yourself and make a stand for yourself, like my son did, where he said, I'm going to wear the pink shirt. And when I was like, I prefer purple, him going, you're not actually hearing me. This is what matters to me. This is why it matters to me. And I want your support and celebration and encouragement. I don't want you to dismiss me. Now, he's got that capacity to stand up and say, this is why I don't like you dismissing me. Because throughout his life, I'd stood up for him going, your opinion matters. What do you think about this? Do you want to wear this or this today? So that it taught him from small decisions what matters. And you can start, if you've had no decision-making capacity because your voice was totally unheard, you can start with small things instead of like choosing big things and between lots of things. Just give yourself two options and say, like, today I'm choosing between dal or biryani or something, so that it's simple, two choices that you can choose between. And that way, and then feel into it, which one really sparks joy for me, or both, so that you are honoring yourself and really loving yourself. So I want to hear your opinion about the new group we're going to create, and I want to hear from you how it is going in you finding your voice, because you matter. So click over there, restoring.love/s, to take you to the survey so that I can hear your voice on what this new group will look like together. I'd love to hear from you. and love to hear how you'd like me to create it. And I'll be back. We're going to create the name together next. So let's hear what people want to do. All right, I'm sending you love, and I hope that helps.